This is Captain Black, the Hood Conservative. Today's topic, police qualifications. I am very fortunate to have with me on, as you see, speakerphone, no less than my advisor and legal counsel, Ken Jones. And let me give this disclaimer. Any mistakes I make in public are all my own and not because of Ken's direction. Ken, how you doing today?
Hey, what's going on, Mr. Ramsey?
Just want to discuss a topic that we've addressed numerous times. What do you think would be the best set of criterion for hiring police officers?
Well, we need better trained, better equipped guys from the aspect that they are qualified and state police are qualified.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you notice, with rare exceptions, you don't have a lot of problems with our state police officers.
Okay.
These guys, they tend to be the best of the best, a higher cut. Sometimes we need to pay a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we need to pay a little bit more attention to who we're hiring. Because in major cities, we're noticing on mass hires how many problems they've been having.
Okay.
We have large group of places. This morning, DC PD Captain Emil was on speaking about the same topic. Just saying that she's identified during mass hiring the issues that they've had.
Mm-hmm. What do you think about the concerns with urban centers where you have majority black populations and the dynamics between those populations and the police who serve them?
Well, with that dynamic being taken into account, you're going to have people who are going to lack resources, lack skills, and you have a lack of engagement most times by the police department with the people on the street. Walking the beat, cops on the beat, community policing is the new name for it. That's extremely effective because the police have to build a bond with the community and let them know that they're not to be feared, but they're there to serve and protect. Unfortunately, it doesn't take a whole lot for police to get a bad name within the community and to be feared.
Mm-hmm. So what do you think about, my particular platform item, which is always that personal responsibility trumps poverty, trumps institutional injustice, if any exists in a given scenario, that we cannot abandon personal responsibility as we look at reducing inner city crime and also with oversight of police departments?
Ultimately, personal responsibility is the ultimate
All right.
the ultimate in test. I mean, no matter what happens, we need to be responsible. Every person's responsible now. We need to guide people, give them the resources and the needs, and a better way to look at things so they can go forward and to achieve in ways that they would like to. It's true there are many people, as far as we hear from, there are many people who are still left out of that race, unfortunately. And we've got to do something to help these people.
When I hear a lot of academicians and think tank types address the issue of police qualifications, they talk about education a lot. Now, as an anti-crime activist, from my vantage point, sometimes I really don't know how useful a 4-year degree would be, for instance, in dealing with highly dynamic and potentially hazardous situations on the street, particularly in the inner city.
Well, I think what a 4-year degree does overall is to offer the ability to learn how to deal with people from different places and different cultures. I think being skilled and being trained is important, more important than necessarily a 4-year degree. I don't know that that's so much the linchpin for it. State police don't have 4-year degrees, all of them.
Okay.
But they have high moral character and they have excellent training programs.
So would you say that's the difference then between an average state police department and the various municipal agencies surrounding it?
Yeah, I could definitely well say that. I could well say that.
Now, what's the community component? I mean, you as an attorney, me as an anti-crime activist, what role do you feel we should play in not only trying to flesh out police qualifications, but also making sure that policemen aren't being demonized, particularly by members of our community? Because that particular impasse, at least in my estimation, doesn't serve the interest of either group.
Well, I think, like anything else, the
Hmm.
biggest thing is to spot the trends that are giving us problems and to try to deal with them. I mean, community and school involvement, I think that's the biggest thing, that people involved in schools, and that education is first and foremost. You want to, like Ronald Reagan said, you want a kid father, you need a good guy, but you also need well qualified, well trained people to do that.
Hmm. Well, if you had to judge the New Orleans Police Department right now, where do you feel it stands and where do you feel it needs to go? Because you have, of course, represented numerous clients against New Orleans police officers as a defense attorney, correct?
Oh, certainly, I have.
So,
Particularly juveniles.
all right, what's your assessment of the agency now?
Of our problem.
Okay.
I would say the NOPD has some very unique problems. It
Hmm.
has an endemic problem with the old guard, with the guys who've been there a long time and they've been doing things the way they've been doing them. And it's good police work, but it's not necessarily good law. And that's where we have a very serious problem with the police. They're not following the law as it should be.
Okay.
In
What?
New Orleans, we
Go ahead.
also have a shortage of police. After Katrina, a lot of dynamics changed. You now have a lot of people in New Orleans who were not in New Orleans prior to Katrina, and the people who are coming in, for good or for bad, they tend to have higher education and skill level, but they have less community involvement. So NOPD is not really drawing the sort of applicants that it really needs to be able to put forth a good force. I don't think we need as many police officers in NOPD as they say. I think you could use 1,000 well-trained guys versus wanting to have 1,500. I'm not quite so sure that you need 1,500.
Okay.
How do you attract them? I would be looking to attract them
Mhm.
from all sorts of places, paying them more money, giving them better training, and giving them better opportunities overall. I would do things in terms of housing
Hmm.
for the police, having them be required to live in the houses if we're going to give them houses for them,
Hmm.
and trying to put them in school as we once did years ago.
Okay.
Make sure we've got better trained, better equipped guys.
Closing question. How
Sure.
do we improve relationships between the NOPD and the black community?
NOPD's got to get on the street, get out the car, and talk to the people. And police culture in general is one, unfortunately, that it's us against them.
Hmm.
It's the bad guys, and we're the good guys. The truth be told is, if they being NOPD,
Hmm.
was better situated amongst the community if they moved the people and got out the cars and spoke to the people. And as in the old days, it was an officer friendly program where
Okay.
officer friendly was a guy who came out and he was introduced to the police. I mean, as a police representative to the kids at a very young age. So the first time they saw a police officer wasn't once they got in trouble.
All right. What can the
And
community?
I would believe.
Okay.
I would believe that's one of the real seminal points
Hmm.
that we need to put in. Just getting out on the street, talking to the people, getting to know the people
Mhm.
in the neighborhood that you work in, and not spreading the mindset that it's us against them. And if they follow the law to the T, they will make that unrest. People will stay in jail, we're guilty, and they will get better cooperation.
What should the community in turn do to improve relations with the police? Because I always feel it's a two-way street.
Oh, certainly, certainly. Unfortunately, given the reputation they have, the NOPD is going to have to come to the people before the people come to the NOPD. That's the way that I think it's going to have to go, given what I've seen. Because if you talk to people just generally about the police department, they are not very happy. And they're not very joyful.
And that's true.
I mean, in the police, we don't have a lot. You don't need a lot of bad police to create a big problem. Unfortunately, people see all the police under that one rubric, which is they're all bad because there's some bad police officers. In fact, the number of bad police officers are probably few, less than 3%. But what do? Those guys have to get on the street.
Okay.
They've got to go to the people.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Folks, this is Captain Black, the Hood Conservative, anti-crime activist, one-man street patrol. As you know, I support the police, but I also feel that the relationship between the police and the black community can be better. Saying that, I also strongly feel that the community has to meet the police halfway, and in turn the department has to meet us halfway. What's the benefit? Not some sort of politically correct fantasy, but less officer-involved shootings, increased officer safety, less police brutality complaints, less officers being injured, less civilians being injured, and ultimately less crime and a more safe society.